Hello, my dear students. Myself, Sheikh Gulnaz. Now, I am here with the topic of impact of the British rule to India. So, students, this is a subject of social science and for the student of 7th standard. Students, in the last class, we have discussed about the British supremacy. Now, political supremacy. Now, let us see the impact. What were the results, impacts of the British rule in India? So, introduction in this chapter, students. British East India Company during year 1600 to 1757 was just a trading company. Till this year, students, trading company, it is nothing but doing business and all. Just East India Company was till 1757, it was only a trading company. British came in with trading interest and gradually developed political interest in India. So, in the beginning, they appealed to various political powers to safeguard their aspiration and increase their trade. So, students, here what happened before what their aim was to do individual monopoly business in India. After getting that interest, what happened? Their interest changed to political interest. Students, first of all, they came for trade business, but afterwards, what happened? They changed their mind by seeing the politics. So, what happened here, students? They gradually replaced appealing with the policy of conquest and hence became politically strong. So, they have reform, means they formed the policies also, students, in our India, and they started to gain the political power in India. So, after having conquered India, they tried to take it under their position by forming strategies to achieve their distant dreams. So, students, here what happened? One by one, the aims of British were increasing. First of all, they came to India for doing trade. And what happened next? Their aim changed to political interest. Now, after gaining gaining that political power, what happened? They changed their position. They wanted to roll that. So, next what happened, students, here? Various legislations were passed in the field of politics, economic systems of India. Various systems, students, order, and the reforms meant to here economic system and social order termed it as a reforms meant for the betterment of Indians. So, students, what happened here? They started the reformation, we can say programs, systems, economic system or social system, but in terms by showing the Indians that they are doing for their good, for their well. So, what happened here? But behind all this, their self-interest was of a paramount importance. Here, students, just they were showing the Indian peoples that they are doing for their well, for their sake they are doing. But here the intention was different of Britishers. Actually, they were thinking of their self. So here, students, what happened? Initially, Indians believed accordingly. It is also incidentally that their enactment of legislations had any positive impact on the Indians, as their main was safeguarding their own interest first. Students, here, what happened? It is only incidental that an enactment of legislation has a positive impact. Here, students, how they shows that their reformations and their laws and order by showing the peoples that they are doing for their sake, but the intentionally their intention was different. So, what happened here? They were thinking of their self. In this chapter, analysis of the reforms related to 4 fields has been made, that is revenue, English education, economic impact, and constitutional development in our India. How they have changed. So, after learning this chapter, students, you will get understanding and you can identify the merits and demerits. Merits, it's nothing but advantages and disadvantages we can see of the implementation of permanent zamindari system, mahalwari system, and rayatwari system. So, collecting information about the English education system that were introduced in India, how our English education has been introduced in India, and what were the we can say steps or enlisting economic influences to understand the constitutional development. Okay, now let us start with the chapter first, that is land revenue policy. What is land revenue policy? Students, here the British implemented reformation in land tax system to ensure the flow of regular income to the East India Company treasury. Students, here the British implemented reformation in land tax. First, they implemented land tax system to ensure the flow of regular income for the East India Company. So if they rise the taxes, what happens, students? They will get more money. If they get more money, the regular income will be there for the Britishers. This was their plan. So apart from this, the British needed huge amount of money to fund their war expenses and salary expenses of their staff. So students, here to we can say to fulfill their expenses, Britishers wanted to fulfill their expenses, so that was the reason behind they made this land tax revenue system and all. Particularly, the British officers were drawing huge salaries. So hence, the East India Company started collecting higher land tax from the farmers. So they were staying in our country only, then also they are taking money taxes from our country only. But we Indians didn't got about the plan which they were planning. So next, the Governor General Warren Hastings introduced a bidding system to authorize tax collecting works during this period. What happened here, students? A Governor General Warren Hastings introduced bidding system to authorize tax collecting works during this period. Means here, though the zamindars were competing to bid for higher rates, they used to fail to collect tax accordingly. This resulted in the variations in the tax remittance. So in order to ensure steady tax collections, the British enacted other tax collection systems. So students, here what happened when they the tax revenue system they were introduced, but that was not working because the farmers don't have that much money to pay. Actually, their self things will be their basic needs, they have to be satisfied. But here they were applying more taxes. So because that was not working for the Britishers, because they were unable to pay the tax. So next they have removed the another tax system, that is permanent land revenue system. This was started in the year 1793 CE. So the Governor General Cornwallis decided to fix the land tax on the permanent basis in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So students, according to this revenue system, the Governor General Cornwallis decided to fix the land tax on a permanent basis for the places like Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, because the growth of the agriculture in that areas are very good. Because of that, they put the permanent taxes in that areas. So the agreement he entered with the zamindars for tax collection is called Permanent Land Revenue System. Here students, the agreement was signed between the zamindars and the Britishers. That agreement was known as Permanent Land Revenue System. So under this system, the zamindar works as government agents. With this, the company now had access to permanent income from the agricultural sector. So it's also brought down the expenses of the revenue collections. Often, stronger zamindars paid the fixed taxes to the company irrespective of the agricultural production. The British created classes like this which could work for them and support them often. So students, what happened here, after they became the zamindars who became the government agents, they were ready to pay taxes. So if they are paying means zamindars, so what happened here, the zamindars will forcibly take from the farmers. So the British got advantage that thought they will collect their taxes. Like this, the Britishers have been planned. So the British created classes like this which could work for them and support them often. So next what happened, the next impact was the impact of the peasants, farmers. So peasants is nothing but students, we can say farmers also. The zamindars exploited the farmers by collecting excess land tax. So students, what happened, because the zamindars were forcibly taking the land, collecting the land taxes permanently, means compulsory they are collecting, then what happened, students, here what the things they need to get, they were unable to get. For example, they were working, for example, we can say students, a person is doing a business by his own, but he is not getting that profit. What is the use of that? So here student, it was like that only. When the Britishers reformed the taxes system, revenue systems, what happened? The zamindars exploited the farmers by collecting excess land tax. So they never gave attention to improve the agriculture output. The tenant farmers were forced to pay their share even though crops had failed. Even though they have failed, the crops was failed, then also they have to pay the taxes. This was the system they introduced. and forcibly they were taking. As a result, the agricultural output collapsed. So apart from this, the company made farmers further poor by forcing them to grow commercial crops that we need for their factories. All this resulted in the growth of bounded labor. So students, here what happened? By taking this forcibly like that in agriculture, collecting the land taxes like that, so what happened? That has been collapsed only. So here, apart from this, the company made the farmers further poor by forcing them to grow commercial crops that were need for their factories. Commercial crops which are usable, students, like cotton and all. So all this resulted in growth of bounded labor. So next, Rayotwari system. This has been started in the year 1820 CE. Now let us see what is this system. According to this system, what they wanted. This system where the farmers could directly remit the land tax to treasury without any intermediaries is Rayotwari system. Student, here, what is Rayotwari system? The system where the farmers could directly remit the land tax to treasury without any intermediaries is Rayotwari system. Now let us see what about this. The direction relationship between the government and the farmers is the important feature of the Rayotwari system. Here, students, the main important role play in this system is about the government and the farmers. So this system was brought into effect in the South and West India. In its impact, it was not much different from the permanent zamindari system. It is not much different. If we compare today's zamindari system with that, means it is not different like that. So students, according to this, here the farmers could directly remit. They can give their land taxes without any intermediaries in Rayotwari system. So under this method, the measurement, fertility and irrigation facility of the land was taken into consideration and land tax was fixed. Half of the output was fixed as the land tax. The volume of tax fixed periodically. Even though the farmer lost their crop due to floods or drought, the tax payment was mandatory. So this system was brought into effect by Sir Thomas Monroe in Madras region in 1820 CE. So students, here directly remit, if anything they need for agriculture and all, they can directly take from the government, but they have to pay the taxes. If thought the government has paid them, if the crops have been not because of that natural disaster system that has been destroyed, means then also they have to compulsory pay the taxes. So this is what all about Rayotwari system. Next, Mahalwari system. This system has been started in the year 1833 CE. Now let us see what about this system. Mahal means village or estate. Here students, Mahal means estate or village. The land tax was fixed for the entire Mahal village. So the local zamindar was responsible for the tax collections of all the farmers in that Mahal village. This system was implemented in Uttar Pradesh and parts of Madhya Pradesh and Punjab in 1833. So students, according to this Mahalwari system, the zamindars of that place, they have to collect compulsory taxes from each and individual. So students, here this system was implemented in the places like Uttar Pradesh and some parts of Madhya Pradesh and Punjab in this year 1833 CE. So total impact of the land revenue system, here student, what results we can see? British converted land into a marketable commodity. Instances of land auctions and sales increased. As land tax was to be paid in cash form, the money gained prominence. To increase the income, zamindars insisted on cultivating crops like cotton, jute, peanut, tobacco, sugarcane and other commercial crops. Instead of food crops, it was profitable for the British as the commercial crops could get exported, but this resulted in food shortage in India. Within the zamindari system, new classes of farmers arose. So students, these were the total results, impacts after that land revenue system. So students, first is that British converted land into marketable commodity. So instances of land auction and sales increased. So as land tax was to be paid in cash form, the money gained prominence. Here students, exactly, if they are paying the taxes in the form paying in cash, so what happened? The importance will be of money only. So to increase the income, zamindar insisted on cultivating crops like cotton, jute, peanut. These are nothing but commercial crop, students. For their selfishness, they were doing that, and thought they are getting the profit and they are exporting and everything by doing trade and all. But that was getting very loss for the Indians, because of that what happened, they arises, it resulted to food shortage in India. So within the zamindari system, new classes of farmers arised. So next, English education. So education is an instrument that ensures individuals' freedom. Students, here, if a person is educated, he can do anything for himself. So he can teach them and everything, that he could have the knowledge, so he can make use of that, isn't it? So with the help of knowledge that gained through education would lead to a better life, isn't it? If you get the education, means it will be better for your life only. For future it will be useful, not now means if future, isn't it? So the universalization of English education profited the Indians. All classes of the society could have access to education. This is a good point here, students. Under the Charter Act, 1 lakh rupees was kept aside for the educations of Indians. They used to keep a 1 lakh rupees was kept aside for the education of Indians. But the government had not spent anything from it till 1823. The Indian thinkers and the Christian missionaries launched in favor of modern education into India. At the same time, the company also had different idea. It needed English educated Indians to work at the lower cadre of its offices for the less salary. So it aimed at creating an educated class that was dedicated to it. Lord Macaulay and Charles Wood implemented the new education system with this aim. So students, here what happened, they educated Indians, they gave education to Indians in the favor that also, in behind that their intention was different. For their selfishness, they were teaching Indians, because if they get educated, they will help under Britishers, and what happened, they can pay them less salary. So next, you can see the images are there of Lord Macaulay and Charles Wood. Next, dispute over medium of instruction. Many English academicians argued that the Indians should be educated in their mother tongue. Some others argued that the modern science and literature should be given through English medium. In 1853, the Governor General William Banting finally announced that the education policy which opted for instruction of Western science and English medium of instruction. So students, here what happened, many of the English academicians argued that the education which we are giving to people, that should be of them by mother tongue. If they are teaching with them, means it will be easy for that students to understand their mother tongue, isn't it? So next, few of them argued that the modern education, science and literature should be given in English medium. So after, in the year 1853, the Governor General William Bentinck finally announced that the education policy which opted for instruction of Western science and English medium of instruction. So students, some of the Western academicians had introduced the Indian culture wealth to the Western world. Sir William Jones, who was in India as the judge of Supreme Court, had founded Asiatic Society of Bengal in the year 1784 CE. So he propagated the greatness of Sanskrit language to the world. Sir Charles Wilkes translated Bhagavad Gita into English in the year 1785 CE. Max Muller translated Rig Veda and other writings. So students, some of the Western academicians had introduced the Indian culture wealth to the Western world also. So they have translated our books, Indian books, to their English. So Sir William Jones, who was in India as the judge of Supreme Court, had founded the Asiatic Society of Bengal in the year 1784 CE. So he propagated the Sanskrit. In that book, he propagated the greatness of Sanskrit language to the world. So Sir Charles Wilkes translated Bhagavad Gita into English in the year 1785 CE. Max Muller translated Rig Veda and other writings too. So here students, Bentinck Declaration was based on the minute prepared by Macaulay, who was the member of the executive body. Macaulay was a hardcore pro-English thinker. So here students, he argued that Indian knowledge is of low level. He also made fun of Sanskrit grammar. He wanted to take away the Indians from their roots, he had declared all the books written in Sanskrit language is less valuable than what may be found in the most paltry abridgment used at preparatory schools in England. These words clearly demonstrated his prejudice. So, students, here what happened, that person who is here, Macaulay. Macaulay, he argued that the Indian education, in that Indian knowledge is of low level. So he also made fun of Sanskrit language. He wanted to take away the Indians from their roots. So he declared all the books were written in the Sanskrit language is a less valuable than what may be found in the most paltry abridgment used as preparatory schools in England. So these words clearly demonstrate his prejudice, how he has insulted. So the British formulated new education system in the year 1854. This was based on the report by Charles Wood. In a short period, universities were established at Bombay, Kolkata and Madras in the year 1857. The establishment of primary schools, high schools and colleges were done stage by stage. So the education departments were formed in regions to monitor and supervise education. English became the official administrative language by 1844 CE. So students, what happened in the English, British formulated a new education system in the year 1854 in India. This was based on the report by Charles Wood. So in a very short period, universities were established in Bombay, Kolkata and Madras in the year 1857. Big education universities. The establishment of primary schools, high schools and colleges were done stage by stage. So students, here first we have to learn till 10th. After 10th, the stage will be of PU colleges, pre-university, then degree colleges, like that they have stage by stage they have done. Then education departments were formed in regions to monitor and supervise education. So English became the official administrative language by 1844 CE in India. Bombay University, you can see students, this is a university which was established by Britishers in India. So here you can see the Madras University also. So students, if you have any doubt and questions relating to this topic, you can ask. In next video we will continue this chapter, the impact of Western education and economic impact, etc. Thank you students for watching my video.